So $0 premiums, what does that mean? That means that someone has a free insurance plan. But it's not really free. There's always a catch.
There's different metals that they classify in the marketplace. So they have the bronze, the silver, gold, and platinum. The bronze are typically the ones that come out to $0.
The biggest question is, do I want to take a bigger risk and save the money? Or would I rather pay a little bit more per month and just have better coverage just to be sure, just in case, even if I'm planning on using it or not. But ultimately, you just got to be careful and make sure you're asking the right questions.
Hey guys, welcome to the Averity Insurance Podcast, episode 7.
Welcome
back. We're officially married.
We're married.
We finally did it after a long year of wedding planning. Thank you to you because you did everything.
Now it's your turn to plan the honeymoon.
Yeah. Now it's my turn. So, and thank you guys for being here and watching this video. Make sure that you guys always do the nice YouTube things: comment, subscribe,
subscribe,
do
share.
all the good stuff. And today's topic, what we're going to be going over is going to be going over $0 premiums in the marketplace and what do they really mean.
Yeah.
So you want to go ahead and get started?
Yeah, so $0 premiums. So what does that mean? That means that someone has a free insurance plan. But it's not really free. There's always a catch. So as we've spoken of many times in the past, ACA, the marketplace, was established to basically give subsidies or tax credits or a financial assistance, if you will, to pay for the insurance premium. So if someone's insurance costs, $400, their tax credit could be $399, whereas that leaves them paying $1. So when you see a $0 plan, it's not that the insurance is free, it's that the government is paying for the whole thing.
Right.
But what does that mean in turn?
Yeah, and that can mean a lot of things, So, like for an example, and I don't know if we went over this a few times before in some of the episodes, but there's different metals that they classify in the marketplace. So they have the bronze, the silver, gold, and platinum. The bronze are typically the ones that come out to $0. There might be some gold plans and some area codes that have a $0 premium, but it's majority of the time going to be a bronze, right?
Yeah.
Bronze plans, as you know, higher deductibles, higher out-of-pocket costs. They're the cheapest ones, right? They're $0 a month, but they're always going to have a higher out-of-pocket cost at the end of the day. So when you actually go to use that insurance, you're going to pay a lot more.
Yeah.
And it's just that plain and simple.
Yeah.
So you might see some that are $0 premiums that maybe have a $2,000 deductible, $4,000, $7,500, $9,000. So like you the insurance pretty much doesn't work until you reach that deductible.
Yeah.
There might be certain things that are covered beforehand, but always gonna have to, if you have an emergency, you have a surgery or anything like that, you gotta reach that deductible first before it covers anything.
Exactly.
Or it covers just a little bit small percentage. So
the way that I like to explain it to people is you're paying nothing, but you're essentially taking on a much bigger risk.
Right.
So like Luis was saying, if the deductible is $7,500 and you land in the hospital and your bill is $6,000, you got to pay the full $6,000 because you haven't met that $7,500 deductible. So it's cheaper, but like we say in Spanish, lo barato sale caro. So it's cheaper.
The cheap comes out expensive.
What's cheap comes out expensive. So it might be cheaper per month. Granted, you're not paying anything, but God forbid you try to actually use it, you're gonna have to pay a lot, and you're gonna be like, "Hey, this insurance sucks. It doesn't work." It's not that it doesn't work. It's a free plan, free. It's what we like to call catastrophic. So it's one of those plans that don't look at it, don't touch it, don't use it. And it's going to work for you, but it's not for the person that has to go do follow-ups, medication, exams, MRIs, scans, things like that. It's not the right plan for that person.
Yeah, most definitely. Like she said, they're always going to pay more. So if you have a higher deductible and plan, you're going to pay full price for all those services. So if you have to do an x-ray, a surgery, anything like that, you're going to pay full price until you reach that deductible.
Yeah.
Then the next thing after the deductible is going to be the max out of pocket, which is worst case scenario, the most that you have to pay in a calendar year.
Right.
Which typically 9 times out of 10, the bronze plans are always going to be what for next year, 2026, 10 grand, if I'm not mistaken. So that's still a lot.
It's a high responsibility.
Again, it's better than not having any insurance.
Right.
I'm not saying that don't get it at all, but
right.
it's better than nothing at all.
Yeah.
So I think more than anything is making sure you find out the correct,
pros and cons.
The pros and cons, right? What fits your needs, what fits your
right.
budgets, of course, because at the end of the day, everybody has their budget. You're not going to pay a lot of money for an insurance that maybe you're not going to use that often. So you kind of have to, like Natalie said, pros and cons. Am I going to use it that often this year? Maybe for an emergency, maybe for an annual checkup. because even if you have a deductible, the annual checkup is still covered that first time.
Yeah.
Practically 9 times out of 10. I don't know if there's any
The
other
biggest
plans that
question
are
is,
different, but
do I want to take a bigger risk and save the money? Or would I rather pay a little bit more per month and just have better coverage just to be sure, just in case, even if I'm planning on using it or not. But ultimately, you just got to be careful and make sure you're asking the right questions. There's a lot of agents that will sell you a pretty dream because the insurance is $0 a month, $0 a month, you know. And people always ask like, oh, but I have a neighbor that she pays $0, or my sister pays $0, you know, why do they pay $0? Why do I have to pay? And it's like, well, listen, if you qualify, we could probably put you on a $0 plan too. But if you're the type of person, like I said earlier, that wants to use it, it's not going to work for you. Like I would be doing you a disservice if I put you on a $0 plan, knowing that you actually want to go get some, you know, medical attention.
That's what I actually just had a call earlier today, that he was a referral. He's on a private plan right now, and then he wanted to see how he can bring his premium down. I think one of his friends literally told him that he pays like $10 a month.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, for next year, that's gonna be changing completely. Your friend's not even paying $10 a month. He's a client of mine, and he's going up to like, I don't think it was like 60 or whatever, 70.
Yeah.
And I told him, look, it is what it is. For this year, yes, they're giving a lot of tax credit because of the whole COVID pandemic thing. Next year is gonna completely change.
Right.
You know, the bronze plan being the cheapest route that he was looking for. I told him, well, how often do you plan on using it? You know, he's like, yeah, I plan on using it every now and then, but I still want good benefits. So I told him, look,
these are your
a
two
bronze,
options.
you have a bronze and a silver. Either you could pick either one. It doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna recommend you the best option. I think it's gonna best fit your needs. If you're looking for good coverage, you're willing to pay a little bit more a month, do the silver. If you're not gonna use it at all, and you're only gonna do it one annual checkup, and you don't have really any emergencies,
and you just want to save money,
do a bronze.
Yeah.
You know, but again, I do a needs analysis. I make sure that what fits your budget, how much you're trying to pay, what's your doctors, your medications, and then I'm going to offer you what I think is best for you. Yeah. That's essentially our job. You know, that's we're brokers. We want to make
ultimately,
sure that
like people try to, especially like people will try to haggle for the insurance price, and it's like, wait a minute, we don't set the prices. The government sets the prices. Government sets the prices. Government sets the subsidy. We just bring you the information. We bring you the consultation, if you will, the explanation of how it works, how it's going to cover you. But ultimately, the client is the one that has the decision at the end of the day. And I mean, we get paid the same, whether you want to pay $300 a month or you want to pay $0 a month, we get paid the same. So for us, it's not like we're trying to sell higher for whatever reason. It's not like it goes based off any dollar amount. So it's ultimately, again, up to the client if they want to take a bigger risk and pay $0, or take more coverage and pay more. But again, ultimately up to the client. We always leave it up to them, and that way they can never turn around and say, hey, but you didn't tell me this. We will always tell them, like, this plan has a $7,500 deductible, or this plan has a $4,000 deductible, which means if you step in the hospital, you're gonna have to pay. And a lot of people are under that misconstruction of like, okay, I have insurance, even though I pay nothing, and I go to the hospital and I'm gonna pay nothing. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. You're always gonna pay something. Literally, there's no insurance that covers a person 100%, especially the plans that are $0. So with that said, just be on the lookout. $0 plans aren't actually $0. The money comes out of your pocket one way or another. And for those that want to do a $0 plan, we always recommend doing a supplement. Because there's no way that you're gonna have a $4,700 deductible, and you're gonna pay all that out of pocket. God forbid something were to happen to you. So that's where supplemental policies come in, and they cover that gap, so you don't have to pay that up front. But those are essentially things that we, us as brokers, that we offer to all of our clients. And just, hey, look, this is what you should do if you're gonna do a $0 plan. This is what you should definitely have. No ifs, ands, or buts, because if not, at the end of the day, you're gonna be the one that's gonna call us. Literally saying what you told me doesn't work, or this insurance sucks. But what Louis said is a perfect example, because let's say, like how he was mentioning earlier, the tiers. So someone's bronze plan could be $10, but then the next tier up might be $200. That's a huge jump, and they're like, well, you know, it's not really worth paying the $200. I'd rather pay the $10. However, you can add on, like he was saying, like an accidental policy or supplemental policy for an additional $20 to $30, $40, and you're still paying $40 to $50 in total. but it's better than just having only the $10 one,
right.
or it's still cheaper than having the $200 one.
Right.
So it's a way to kind of like tweak the numbers a bit, tweak the coverage, cater it to the person's needs, and still find something within their means and their budget that's going to work for them.
Yeah.
Kind of giving them like a just in case coverage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, no, realistically, it's all about just making sure that you understand your insurance policy. If there's ever a question that you guys have, our information is public, so you can always give us a call. But
or get in touch with one of the agents. A team is growing every day, and we have a lot of agents that are ready and willing to help. Bilingual, English, Spanish, so whatever you need.
and some Portuguese too.
Some Portuguese,
So
and we're actually
there.
looking for Haitian speakers. So if you know of anybody that speaks Creole that wants to join our team, by all means.
Yeah. And I think that's pretty much it. We wanted to go over. So thank you guys for joining us on episode 7, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.
Watch out for those $0 plans.
So watch it. Be very careful.
Thank you guys
Bye,
for
guys.
tuning in.